Race number 3 is the first leg of the first double trio. It's a Class 4. It's over the 1,200 metres, headed by Amusing City, a Griffin winner last season. He's first up in trip. All You Know and Race Call both make their debuts. Endearing, Gear Change, first start for Michael Friedman. Creme Brulee, runner-up, course and distance a couple of weeks ago behind Super Eurostar. Multi Go-Go goes up in trip. And first up, Enjoy Life, Cheers Conqueror, and Golden Deer, with Derek Long on board from barrier 14. And we have made our way back to the touchscreen to have a look at the speed map, Brett. And we've probably got one definite leader here in Multi Go-Go. Likes to jump and run, but he's going to have to work quite hard to come across from barrier 11. Wide gate for him, but that's where we expect to see him out in front.
I agree, Andrew, and we've talked about him in the past as being, well, I have anyway, used the word precious. We've seen him over a straight 1,000, horses around him, he doesn't like it. We've seen him at the trial track when he gets out in front, finds the rail, no horses around him. He looks a really talented horse. I think Joe's going to have that in the back of his mind, that that's what he needs to do here. There's not a lot of other pure pace in the race. Cheers Conqueror back here, he's a horse that's had some pace in the past. Endearing's likely to kick up. Enjoy Life, I think, might be trying to find that spot. And Creme Brulee took a bit of riding through the first stages last start, but he actually got quite close to the pace, so he could potentially maybe try and get outside of Multi Go-Go, and Amusing City might have to take the sit. But I think Joe will want to lead here on Multi Go-Go. He'll be desperate to find the front, and I think that will eventually take place. The newcomer here, All You Know, he's also got a lot of time for. A little slow out in some of his trials, but keep an eye on him late. Yeah,
Multi Go-Go certainly wasn't in a recent trial on the all-weather. Absolutely blitzed them from the start. But let's have a look at the track work, Paul, and we'll move on from there.
No problem. Let's have a look at the first bit. We're going to have a look at this All You Know. I know Brett's made this horse a horse to follow for the season, so I thought I'd show you him. He's the grey horse here, and he's going really nicely with Unleashed Dragon. You can see just pulling away in the later stages of this gallop on the 18th of September. And here's a solo gallop from him as well, nice and easy. Looks a nice type. He's had 4 trials to ready him for this. Chad Schofield will take them out. He's got barrier number 4, the grey horse. The next one we'll take a look at is Endearing. Now, Endearing's changed stables. He's put on 26 pounds. Another horse that looks good for putting on this weight, I think. They've taken the blinkers off. They've put the cheek pieces on, the tongue tie off, and he's working really well with that gear change. Sam Cliven will take the mount on race day, and he's taking the mount here. That was his first gallop. Now here he is once again on the 20th of September, one closest to us. He's would hit the bid. He's normally a speedy horse in track work, but Endearing went past him. I think this horse is going very well at the moment. Michael Friedman trains, and I can't go without showing you the favourite, Multi Go-Go. He's a big trial winner, and you can see he's had plenty of work. Very fit horse going into this particular contest as well. So plenty of track work going into this race.
Excellent. All right. Well, let's get into some of the action as far as races and trials are concerned as well. Starting off with Amusing City. One first up as a Griffin, then bumped into Hot King Prawn last season as well.
Yeah, he was a bit of a surprise winner, really, wasn't he, on debut? Although, having said that, there was some market support for him, but here he just sort of couldn't stick with a couple of horses that look pretty handy, Hot King Prawn, obviously. So that's the question when we looked at the speed map. I think Creme Brulee might try and get in front of him in the early stages. It'll be interesting to see what Tommy Berry can get out of him first up, because I want to see what he can do.
Yeah, well, I've left him alone in this race because he's got to carry top weight as well, 133. But look, he's had the 2 starts as a Griffin and ran well.
Yeah. He wasn't going backwards there either. He was sticking on, ran through the lines to step up and trip.
1,200 should be okay.
Yeah, so it should be a positive for him. We talked about Creme Brulee already. Let's have another look at him. Owner's Delight a bit further back.
Yeah, well, you can see here he was on the back of Super Eurostar, who wanted to lead at all costs, which I think is exactly the tactic Joe will want to be using here with Multi Go-Go. And Creme Brulee stuck on better than Multi-Max, Rich City Fortune, Laugh Out Loud. Now, admittedly, 2 of those are sort of speedy types that often weaken, but this was the best run we've seen from Creme Brulee.
Oh, definitely, yeah. He has improved in the off-season as well. I think this is a slightly stronger Class 4 than the one that he ran in here, but he did run nicely enough.
All right, so he's a definite player. He's an each-way price as well. There's a $12 chance, Creme Brulee. Multi Go-Go, the last one we can have a look at. Down the straight here. This is off the back of that hot trial, and I thought he was going to jump and run. A little bit of bump out the gates and just plugged on for 4th.
Yeah, he did. Now, he's up to 1,200 metres, I think will suit him, because he'll use that pace to get to the front, I think, as Brett said on that speed map. He came from behind in this particular contest and finished off the race fairly enough, but I think he's better out in front, as we saw in that trial.
Yeah, I don't think 1,000-metre racing suits him, to be honest. 1,200-metre around a bend, we've seen the trials on the dirt. I think that's going to suit him better. If he finds the rail here and gets rolling and into his rhythm, it'll be very difficult to cut down. That looked poor. He's better than that.
I feel like we've said this before about Multi-Go-Go, though, a little bit.
We have, and that's a fair point you make, because he's starting to become a little bit costly, but you're sort of giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Right, OK. One more to have a look at, or hear from, anyways. Chad Schofield, one of these debutants here, All You Know.
All You Know, Chad, debut performance coming up on the weekend. What can we expect?
He's a very nice horse. His work's been good, and he's had two quiet trials where he's closed off on the bridle. He's yet to be asked in his trials and his track work, but I have a good feeling that when he's asked on the weekend at the races, he's going to show something, and no doubt whatever he does, he's going to improve on. But he's a nice little horse with a nice future.
So you feel like there's a bit there to give?
Yes, he does. He's obviously debuting, but he's well educated to go there and run a good race.
Not to be confused, of course, with All You Need. He'll be running later on, but All You Know, he looks quite good, doesn't he, what we've seen so far?
Yeah, I like him. I made him the horse to follow for the season, so I've got my fingers crossed. He has been a little slow to move out of the barriers, and he's only going to get better with racing, but I think he'll probably sit 3 fence. If he can be any closer, it's a result. Very interested to see what he's got when he's asked to let down, because I do think there'll be something there.
Yeah, because he's had quiet trials, hasn't he, as you said, but he's finished them off nice enough, and the track work's been pretty good from him, so...
Yeah, Richard's given him a very solid preparation.
He has.
And of the debutants, him and Ray's Call, he's shown us more so far.
Well, Ray's Call hasn't done a huge amount of track work sort of leading into this, so I'd be happy just to sit on the fence with him.
OK, all right, here we go. Class 4, 200 metres, the third, Paul?
I'm going to go with Endearing. I think Endearing can sit behind Multi-Go-Go and get over the top and beat him. As we said, he's been a little bit disappointing at times, Multi-Go-Go. He's definitely got the ability, but with the stable change and the scare change, I think really suits this horse. So Endearing to beat Multi-Go-Go. Spring Win will get a nice run from barrier number 1 as well, so he should be just in behind this pace, and we'll give the debutant a chance, All You Know. But I'll be backing Endearing. I'll just be backing him for a win. It says win in place there, because I thought he'd be paying a little bit more than he is, so he's only backed the place. We won't be touching that. So at this stage, if he stays that price, we'll just back him for a win.
Interesting, there's a lot of money for him early for a place, so that's a good sign to suggest that he's going to run well. I do think Multi-Go-Go, if he finds the front, which I expect to happen, will be very hard to run down, but I'm sort of obliged, really, to tip All You Know. I've made him the horse to follow. He's going to be a decent price, and you mentioned it to me before we came on air, Andrew. He might be a long shot price, so you know, put a little bracket around him for a long shot, perhaps, of the day. I think he'll let down with a bit of force, so I'll tip him over Multi-Go-Go. Cream Brulee, I expect to run well. Amusing City, Endearing, they've got to be chances, and Spring Win's a horse that's got some talent too.